All right, welcome to Why Is This Game Crazy? And this
Whoop,
is
whoop.
the Backlog. This is going to be our podcast style weekend recap, and we will talk about what we're playing, what we played last week, and a little bit of the news that came out over the last week or so.
Which never stops.
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
stop. More today.
hmm
So yeah, big couple weeks since we last discussed. We were talking about the Switch 2 release, and we're moving past that. We know pre-orders are going to be on the 24th. So right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm excited to have it back. And really, the big announcement for me was the fact that they're not changing the price, right? Like Vietnam still got the 10% tariff on it. And yet Nintendo finally said, like, hey, it's $449 for the console. It's $499 if you want the console plus the game Mario Kart World. So that was for me, that was very happy news. We were talking like if it hits $700, I'm not going to purchase, but like it's back at the price I hoped it would be. So I'm back on board. I'm excited to get my
You're
little
back on
pre-order set
board.
up. Back on
Yeah,
board.
I've flipped as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I I'm getting that $500 to play Mario Kart. I'm itching for it. So
That's right. Yep.
yep.
That's the only game I need.
So cool.
Yeah.
But
Now,
yeah, it
obviously, like they talked about the accessories, right? Like that's not going to be the same. Like
no.
that's higher price, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's traditionally like working back at a game store, accessories are where they make a lot of their big profit margins.
hmm
So
True.
it makes sense like, hey, we're already making a good profit margin here. Let's make it a little sweeter. And everyone needs accessories, so let's do it. And it seems like a good move. Like we're still in it for the
Financially,
console. Yeah,
right?
financially for them, it's a good move. For gamers, it's kind of good where we're not having to pay this all up front, and we can kind of piecemeal this together as we get into the rest of the year. So
That's fair for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying the right thing, right? Like you get the console, and Nintendo is kind of special in the sense that they have not used their console as their loss leader. They've typically been like making profit. That's why they have so much cash. It's because the Wii was profitable and sold like hotcakes. So they're eating a little of the cost. I still think they're profitable, right? Like where the Switch 2 is going to be about $330 in Japan, and if you factor out some of the shipping costs, like you can assume the console costs them about $299 or so to make. So even at $450, eating 10% of that cost of $45, you're still coming out slightly ahead, but they're planning to make that all back with the accessories. The other deal of doing that is if those tariffs change again, because we don't know what the future is going to hold, no one does. Um, if they change again, they've already built in like, hey, there's a tariff cost to this. So if
Mm.
tariffs go up 45%, and all of a sudden all the accessories that they got shipping in, they're just going to raise the price of everything 45%.
Oh,
So
for
that's
sure.
sort of them signaling that's just the new reality.
Yeah. So for sure. Do want to get into a little bit of a weekend recap. And if you guys haven't been on our show before, haven't watched us, this is Tyken on my other side here.
Oh
I
yeah.
am, yeah, the gamer, board gamer, RPG gamer,
You could just say
D and
nerd. I
D
don't
and
know why
D
you're making it
nerd.
complicated. Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
little D&D. There's some books down there.
yeah. See that? And
Right.
I am the Don. So yeah, here we
I
are.
see some nerd stuff back there. I see board
Some
games. I
nerd
see
stuff.
video games. Yeah. I see
Little
tabletop.
Street Fighter in the back.
That's
Yeah,
right.
good times.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll start this with a quick weekend recap of what we've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you want to do it? Shotgun one each? Because I think
Um.
you're playing a couple of games. I'm playing a couple of games too.
Yeah. So I Michael Scott
Oh,
TV. There we go. Yeah, it's a little small. That's a throwback.
oh, you're talking. Yeah, yeah.
I think it's slightly bigger than Michael Scott's, but we're not measuring things
That's a
here.
great office reference. I love that
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. That was great. Yeah, so what I've been playing, Inscription, you guys recommended that to me. I've been
Yeah,
playing
how's
it.
that going?
It's insane. Like, first of all,
Mhm,
the atmosphere, the sound, like the sound is just second to none. This thing, like it when you have the headphones on and you're just in this world, you hear this like bassy voice come through, and it's like, oh man, this is a creepy game.
mhm,
Um, yeah, so it's dark. The sounds are on point. It is a little Slay the Spire like, but I love those styles of games where it's
mhm.
like, hey, we're gonna journey through this, get a little better as you go on, deck build a little bit, and hopefully get to the end of it. And I did not make
Okay,
it.
good, good. So you haven't
Yeah,
made a run yet.
I no, I got my ass beat, and
Mhm, mhm,
he made a card out of me or something, and
mhm.
that's where I'm at. I'm back in the game, so
Nice. Have you gotten the chance to walk around the cabin? I have to be so vague, by the way.
I have walked around the
Okay.
cabin a couple times. I had to get my piece off the over by the
Oh, right.
safe and
Mhm.
bring it back. And he's like, "You really should look at the cabin again." And that's where I'm at right now. So
Okay.
no spoilers there, but he's like, "You really need to look at it." The cat thing is yelling at me. He's like, "Look in the rule book or whatever." And so I haven't done that yet. But there's a code in the rule book that I have to find.
If I recall, you haven't played any of his previous games, right? Like, The Hex or Pony Island. I'm missing one. Inscription. Have you played any of the previous ones
No,
from him?
no.
Okay. Okay, good, good.
So
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
have a
excited.
playlist.
I'm so excited to see where you go with this. And
Yeah.
it's funny you could tell how far someone's got by how they explain where they
Yeah.
are, not just where they are in the game, but like what their key takeaways are. So I'm going to be very excited to watch you get further and further into this game.
Nice.
So don't worry about how do I keep pushing through. Keep
Okay.
pushing, and even if you're like, it's getting a little samey if that comes up, I'm going to encourage you with all my heart to just push through. Just keep
Awesome.
going. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one's yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited about that one.
It's a well done game. And yeah, I might not own every deck builder out there, but I do like the mechanic of getting stronger and building your deck. And, it's kind of like a roguelike or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
100% a
lot
roguelike.
of fun.
Mhm.
Yeah. Other than that, very, very beginning of this, but picked up Super Daryl Deluxe last week for the Switch on a little sale. It was like $3 or $4.
Mhm.
And Metroidvania meets Napoleon Dynamite, perhaps, and a
Right.
little RPG elements. It is this kid in high school. He's like you start out at this like everybody's a mob boss, and you're Daryl who looks like Napoleon Dynamite and doing these wacky moves and everything. It's a cool game. I believe there's some RPG elements that make it a little interesting, and you can build Daryl up and make him stronger. I'm not very far into it. I was running around getting papers and flowers for some kids, and that's where I ended that. But I will revisit that game. So
Yeah. Is it a Metroidvania actiony like Hollow Knight is, Super Metroid, or is it like an RPG style, like turn-based combat kind of mechanics? Or
no, yeah, more like Hollow Knight. You
oh,
get
okay.
you get some RPG. I I believe you can level up your power ups. So you, you have these four sets of powers that you can map to your controls, and you can use them differently. And they have like a weak power up, and then epic or strong. So you get more power
Okay.
ups as you go, and you can build your character out. So have you checked
Nice.
that out yet, or
No, no, it's been on
no?
my short list, my long list of bad games that I need to get to, and
Yeah,
Super Daryl has been there. I'm a huge fan of Metroidvanias, so any
yeah.
opportunity to sink my teeth, and in fact, one of mine will be a Metroidvania, but we'll get to that uh,
Um,
when we get to my games.
Yeah, so it's a little wacky. It's very high school, but it's also into the more mature comedy. Like it's like
Mhm.
adult animation or whatever, and it's it looks good. It's promising for $3 or $4 or whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
Like
easy buy.
you can't go wrong,
hmm And that's out in Steam too. It's out on it's a lot of consoles.
right?
So yeah,
So
been
yeah,
looking at it. Oh, apparently I have it in my Steam library.
oh,
Just
there you
haven't
go.
got to it yet.
Play that.
Yeah. Oh, it's on
Um,
there.
and then last thing, this last week I was playing Risk of Rain 2. So fantastic
Ooh.
game.
hmm
I love it. It reminds me of boss fighting or raid fighting
hmm
on World of Warcraft or whatever. Pick your MMO. Uh, Co-op, lots of action. So you can play with what, four friends, three friends,
Yeah.
and have different character builds, and it's just waves and waves of enemies, and they are flooding you, and you're getting destroyed, and you're trying to fight through it all, get to the last boss, and we did.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, we got there, and I sucked at DPS, and I got smacked
Oh,
right away. So
that
I
guy's
got
tough.
smacked. I was not built for the boss. My buddy was slightly more built for the boss. He got pretty far, but we did not make it. So we'll
I
keep
mean,
trying.
getting to the boss is pretty damn good. That takes
Yeah,
some. What I like about Risk of Rain 2 is it really rewards this sort of almost boomer shooter, like fast pace, keep going. There's not downtime to that game. You are running your ass off from the second you hit the ground, getting items on the fly and fighting bosses like mad. Like the game just goes chaos in all the right ways. I love Risk of Rain 2. That's
oh.
easily one of the best of that genre.
Yes.
So that's
So
awesome. So you
we'll
so
have
you
to.
played a good chunk, or is this kind of new for you, or where
I
are you?
I played it. I don't have the expansions. My buddy does, so
Mhm.
we play some of those expansions. But played it a few years ago, just solo play, trying to find something for me and some friends to play. We didn't jump into it. I played a few hours back then, and then
Mhm.
kind of getting back into it with my other buddy that likes it. So yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
lots of
Risk of
fun.
Rain 2 is wonderful.
Yeah, it's good to revisit that.
Mhm. So nice.
So
Is that all on your list? I
that
mean,
that
you
was
got
my
3
my
games
game log.
going.
Yeah,
Jeez,
yeah,
yeah.
3 games.
Actually, you got a
There's
4th, but we'll talk about
we'll,
it in a
we'll
little bit, right?
we'll get into, yeah, we have a fourth.
Yeah,
We'll get
yeah.
into that, and we'll also get into probably what I'm going to move on to over the next week, a
Mhm.
little bit
Oh, nice.
later. So
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I've been playing 2 games. I'm not as ambitious as you, but I'm actually on the tail end of both, which is kind of fun. So the first one I'll talk about is Avowed. I'm finally getting through it. I've been playing it for a while now. It's just been one of those I kind of come to once a week and put another chunk in, which I think is a perfect way to play Avowed. I don't think it holds its weight in long play sessions, but dropping 2-3 hours, accomplishing a couple of missions, totally worth it in that game. I'm excited because I am saved right before going to what is very sign mark the last area of the game. So hopefully a couple more hours, I'm going to wrap up Avowed. I've been very diligent about doing all the quests I can, all the side content. So I will get to put that game to bed as complete. I've done it. So I'm excited about that. I've enjoyed it. Uh, there is a part of me that's like powering through at this point just to finish it, right? You're like, I put 30 hours in, I've done all this content, I'm at the last area. But I'm excited to be done and kind of move on to some other games that have been sitting and piling up in my backlog. Um, the other game I am finishing, when we talked about Metroidvania, I got around to playing After Image. I also picked it up for my Switch. That game is incredible. It is one of the best straight Metroidvanias I played in a long time. It's huge, it's sprawling, it's very Castlevania Symphony of the Night style progression. You get different styles of weapons, you get upgrades. The map is huge. I've probably sunk 40 hours, maybe 50 hours into this game, and it's a really, really big game. I'm at the point now where I'm kind of capping out near the top end of the level for my character. I've kind of built all my stats. I've gotten most of the power ups. Now I'm doing all this kind of cleanup, getting through each of the zones and areas. This game just has so much content and so much different ways to play that I'm gonna probably break down and go to a guide. I can't keep wandering every map area looking for one shadowy corner in the map. It's intense what it has, but what it has is incredible. So if you love Metroidvanias, After Image, easy buy. That being said, awful on the Switch. Like it runs so poorly, which is wild for a pixelated side scroller Metroidvania game. I am constantly in loading zones. It gets choppy. It's dropping to like 20 frames per second.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is not ideal. And you're just sitting there going like, why? Why does this feel so bad? There are times I will be running along and then it will just start loading because the game just needs to catch up. I've had multiple times where the sound gets out of sync and then it freezes for like a good 30 seconds. None of them crashed, which is good. But if you do play it, just don't pick the Switch. Go play it on any other platform. But other than that, absolutely incredible game.
Yeah. How's the loot work on that? Is it just things dropping loot, like
Mhm.
kind of like
Yeah,
Diablo-ish, or
not quite to that. There are enemies that do have items on them that drop. So there's really like five main weapons in the or weapon types, and then there's different upgrades that have different elemental effects, and some of them will give you like additional attacks. So like up in the attack button might do something different. But the majority of the time you're kind of dropping mats from monsters. So some of it's used for crafting food, which might give you temporary or even permanent bonuses. And then sometimes you're getting items that help you upgrade your existing weapons. So if you find something you really like or a style you enjoy, you can kind of beef it up even stronger to kind of keep it relevant for a longer amount of time.
nice? Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's honestly
Cool.
great.
I will definitely put it on my list. I love the concept of Metroidvanias. I also usually get into these and get my ass beat right away, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I might be done. But
This
I'll give it
game,
a try.
you can definitely face tank a lot of bosses. Like it's good and bad. It's good in the sense of like I don't want to have to Dark Souls my way through this game. It's bad in
Right.
the sense there are times it's like I'll fight an enemy and just go, you know what? I'm not even going to dodge their attacks. I've got like 15 heal potions. I have, multiple recovery paths. It's fine. I'll just keep hitting them and heal and then hit them and heal.
Awesome.
Yeah. So wonderful games.
Cool. Sounds good. That's what we're playing, and we are going to talk about game news now.
Ooh.
And we'll just say it's been about a week and a half since we last streamed, maybe 2 weeks.
A
So
lifetime, man. A lifetime.
seems like a lifetime. We'll try to get this a little more, at least weekly ish. But a lot came out, a lot of changes happened. One of the things, I don't know if you're following this game. We like survival, both of us. So Dune got delayed from May to June 10th.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited about Dune. I think survival in an MMO style is a really cool idea. But I'm always been of the camp, and this is just because I have a lot of games to play anyway. But I'm always like, hey, delay it till it's good. We don't need Cyberpunk.
right,
We don't need No Man's Sky. Like,
cook it. Yeah.
come out and be good. So
Yeah.
them delaying, it could sign that things are bad. Like, where do you think? Do you think they're delaying because they can't pull it together, or they're delaying to polish it up?
I think it's almost together. I've heard a lot of the early access, like people that were able to go to one of their events and it was opened up to the media, so they were able to talk about it. And everything I've heard from that was very optimistic. So
Good.
I'm very optimistic that this game is coming together. It's put together. They need to polish a few things to get it out. One of the things they wanted to do with this game is not release an early access game. Basically, they want this game to be done. They want whoever gets this to get a complete experience. So give it another month to cook. But if you think you need another 3 months to cook it, I think that's a good idea. June is going to be a busy month. But at the same time, I think you also think about the rest of the year, and then it's like, okay, Grand Theft Auto is coming out. There's some other stuff coming
Mhm.
out. Where's the attention going to be? So I think June's a good spot for them if they can hold it.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really, other than GTA 6, I haven't heard of the fall lineup, right? Like we're gonna get here soon, and we're gonna start really hearing what fall looks like. So if
Yeah,
you can get out now, I mean, get out now, right?
might be a good time.
Yeah, right into the summer. I think game companies have finally realized that they don't need all their games to come out and be a Christmas buy, especially in the digital space. And there was that sort of holding on for far too long. So I'm glad to see like March has become huge, February's become huge, August has become huge. We're seeing sort of shift to, hey, maybe we don't need to compete with GTA 6.
Right.
So I'm happy for it. Not my
Yeah.
wallet's not, but I am.
No. Awesome. We talked about Switch 2 pre-orders getting moved to this week. Your
Yeah, baby.
your game. I think I'm game
I'm
as
in.
well. So
Yeah,
yeah, excited. I want that Mario bundle,
that's
Mario
right.
Kart bundle.
We
Yeah,
gotta play. We gotta play World when we both get it.
we will play
I'll stream.
World, but
We'll
I
stream
might
it.
not have a camera.
I'll stream it. No worries. I got a
There we go.
capture card already.
Awesome. There was the Mario Kart Direct last week. Did
Hmm.
you catch any of it?
I caught some bits and pieces. I will say I didn't sit and watch the whole thing. It's hard for me once I'm kind of sold on a game. I just put it to the side and say, "Give it to me when I can have it." But did you get a chance to watch it?
I watched parts of it. Zach
Yeah.
just asked when the pre-orders were. It should be the 24th. Check the
Maybe that's
times, check what the different retailers are doing, because some of them are doing midnight, some of them are doing East Coast midnight. So just check and see what's going on with who you want to pre-order with.
I'm getting mine from
To see
Nintendo,
that.
baby.
There you go. And I believe that's like later on in the day. So,
Hmm.
or I think it's
They're
even,
shipping
I
it.
think
Yeah.
they're pushing it, aren't they? Like, are they doing it on the 24th?
Those of you who signed up will get a notification to pre-order, and it will tell you where you are in the timeline.
Hmm.
So you could look at that, and if you find out, hey, I'm not getting it till June 30th, at that point, maybe you hit a Best Buy.
Did
But
you get an email already?
no, I should get one on the
Oh,
24th.
okay.
Yep, that was part of the pre-order setup when I was signing up for Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah, so I watched the Mario Kart Direct, back into that. It looks fantastic. I've seen the knockout version of it, and that looks like a fun mode.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Uh,
Which battle? What do they call that? Balloon battle?
there's the balloon battle. Yeah, they
Yeah,
have one of those on there.
I'm
There's
excited for
a
that.
coin race, like yeah, chase for the most coins kind of
Mhm.
battle too. So that looks good.
It's nice that
The
there's like little mini track runs too. Like there's a reason to explore the world and see the opportunities for it, which I really enjoy. And there are all these like little mini challenges. So that part I like too. I'm excited. I hope they push that. I hope there's like some hard ass challenges in the Mario Kart game where you're like,
yeah,
this is for extreme. And I think that would
yeah.
be amazing.
It yeah, and the open world stuff sounds like you can find some stuff, some unlockables, so
Mhm.
that sounds great. Um yeah, looking forward to it. Looks great. So what I will say, like it's kind of like I caught a little bit, not really paying attention to the whole thing. The thing is I do want to be a little bit surprised when I
Right.
start this game
Right.
up. So what I'm seeing, I'm really impressed with. It looks really good. I I think the game share doesn't look as good, to be honest, but just it looks very choppy when you have the four other players down at the bottom. Those guys look
Oh, mhm.
choppy. Looks like there's some frame rate dips on that. So, not quite as cool as playing, couch co-op or whatever, but it is still kind of a cool feature. Get
Yeah.
a get a general concept of where the other players are.
Throwing blue shells at me every
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Awesome. Moving on. Marathon. Did you watch the cinematic?
I did. I did. I want to know more about that game. I
Yes.
really do. Like it's coming from the pedigree of people that even if I'm not excited, I play their game and enjoy it, right? Like Destiny, right? That's the same team.
Yeah.
Uh Destiny was one that I was like, another shooter. then I remembered it's from the team that made Halo, and it feels wonderful. So I'm excited to see what Marathon brings.
Yeah, yeah. What I'm seeing, they released some gameplay too, so
Hmm.
it looks good. The people that have played it say the shooting is top notch Bungie. So
Yeah, not
what more can you
surprised.
ask for there?
Right.
It it looks good. The cinematics, what that shows me is that there is a story, and
Hmm.
some of the people that have reviewed it kind of say the story's not really there. It's an extraction shooter. That's
Yeah,
all it is. And I
sounds
believe
like Destiny.
right, right. It's this.
Hmm.
But I believe what Bungie is doing with this is they're giving us a cinematic trailer, which shows a lot of story. There is story going on there.
Hmm.
Marathon also is a franchise. Like there was story back in 90 whatever when this
Yeah,
game was
pre-Halo,
out.
right.
So the story was wild, but there is a story there. So I believe that we're going to see some story stuff between extraction matches. You might pick up a book of lore or something as you're extracting things out and uncover more of the story of what's going on there.
Hmm.
It, it looks good. It's going to be a great shooter. Like I would bet money. Like I don't even need to bet money. It's a Bungie game. Like the shooting is going to be fantastic.
Hmm.
Is the story going to be fantastic? That's the question going.
I mean, how much does an extraction shooter need to have a good story, though? Like, that's sort of my takeaway for a lot of games that we went into. Same with After Image. I think its story is okay. Like, it's interesting, but like at the end of the day, I'm not playing the game for that. I'm not playing a Mario game for a good story. I'm certainly don't feel compelled that an extraction shooter has to have that deep a lore. You need to ground it. Like I need a reason to be there for my character, but like I don't need cinematics. I don't need the main character to die or their girlfriend to, get taken. None of that sells it for me. It's is the game solid? Does it play well? Do I want to come back to it?
Yeah, I think for an extraction shooter, that's exactly what it is.
Hmm.
Are we are we getting enough dopamine every time we jump into this game where we want to come back for
Hmm.
it? And it really doesn't matter what the story is.
Give me
Yeah,
that dopamine hit.
that's all it is.
Right.
Is are we getting what we want out of this? Is it exciting? I love extraction games. So
Hmm.
we played some of the RPG ones. I played Hunt Showdown a little bit. It's a lot of fun. Warzone was a little bit extraction-y. I like them. It's a lot of fun, especially like I do really crazy shit as you've seen with Repo. So I do a lot of crazy shit in these games. Usually I'm running with a team that is okay or decent and they can like save me from doing stupid shit.
Except for Repo.
Um yeah, yeah. But you guys have saved me. So Alice says Tarkov of MVP. So absolutely.
Hmm.
Great. That's the mark right now.
Well,
So
extraction shooters are one of the newer genres, right? Like there isn't a lot of genres that come out and you could argue extraction shooters are just first person shooters with a particular twist, but the idea of not everybody wants to play PvP. They want PvP elements in the game, but if that's not your only focus, if you're there trying to get something, you can leave without ever fighting anybody. Or maybe you do run into somebody and you have that really intense exchange. And that creates this wonderful dynamic. It feels good to get out with something, and it feels good to stop someone else. And so it's a really nice way to handle that. And that's why I think we're seeing more and more of those kind of games come out. And different ways to play those. So it's great that even Destiny or the Bungie team is like, hey, let's get in on that.
yeah. I don't think we're done yet. That is, like you
No.
said, a pretty new genre,
Hmm.
and they're gonna that's gonna be a focus point for years to come for gaming, I believe.
Yeah, we'll be sick of it. That'll be a hot take at some point. I'm so sick of extraction shooters. Why is everything an extraction shooter?
Yeah.
Final
Oh.
Fantasy extraction? Come on.
Yes. So interesting rumor announcement today. Oblivion?
Rumor.
Rumor?
Rumor. Is it a rumor Bethesda's
Is
the one
it
saying it and puts a giant 4?
giant
Yeah.
4 and the night and yeah.
We've had leaks of Oblivion over the last couple of days, right? A Oblivion remake. We obviously don't know details, but we've certainly heard we've seen updated graphics. They're claiming a whole new combat system, which thank God, because that's the one thing that makes going back to Oblivion painful. That and the sagging faces, but hopefully they fix that too. I'm here for it. Ooh, baby. I am
I'm
so
ex-
excited.
I'm excited. I remember playing this game on the 360 and I didn't play Morrowind. So this was my first
Mm,
experience of this whole thing. And every NPC has like a script that they're doing. Like
yeah.
they do things during the day. They're never in the same place twice. It's such an alive world, Oblivion. When I visited that back in the 360 era, it was mind-blowing. And RPGs now are not quite like that level of detailed as what that game was. Skyrim and the re-release 20 or whatever. Yeah, of course it is. But this game was so incredible. So many things were going on. You could play this game 5 different times and not experience the same thing. It's a wild game. It's
Yeah.
open. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if there's a handful of games that reach that level of complexity, right? It's Cyberpunk, it's Skyrim, maybe Witcher 3. I would argue Witcher 3 is more story based than these, but it's in the pantheon when it comes to these games. So getting a remake of Oblivion with an update to some of its more archaic elements is huge. The other thing is that Skyrim, I really love Skyrim. Obviously, everyone does. I don't care if you argue. Skyrim's an absolutely incredible game. Cyrodiil in Oblivion is such a beautiful game. There's this lush green everywhere, and you're finding Aelid ruins in the middle of these dense jungles and black marshes, and it's just there's just so much to the game that's so lovable that I'm happy to see it come back. And frankly, I played Skyrim like 30 times. It'd be nice to go back and take a break, to do
Right.
that. So
And there's
very excited.
so many people that haven't played or
Hmm.
experienced Oblivion that have played Skyrim because like I said, there's been 20 re-releases of this game. So it's something that keeps coming out and it's like Skyrim, Skyrim, Skyrim. And finally we get to see Oblivion again and at a different generation. And I think people are going to see this game for the first time and just be like, damn, when did this come out? Like the first time?
What,
This
oh
is
six,
this
oh
is
five?
crazy.
Am I
Yeah.
remembering that right?
So
God, it's been a minute.
I believe this game is going to hold the test of time and still be as good as it was back then. There was so much going for it. I believe with the updated graphics, updated combat, this
Oh
game
six.
is going to be fire.
Yeah. If you look, and so you didn't play Morrowind, but like Morrowind was this huge landmark game, right? Big,
Mhm.
sprawling world, interconnected. Oblivion was a step up from that. Skyrim was a step up. Like we see this nice progression that if you went back now, I'd have a hard time recommending Oblivion other than to hardcore people that are like, I'm tired of Skyrim. I need something else. Now I'm going to be able to. I'm going to say, hey, you can jump into Oblivion now and play it. It also means we're getting a whole new mod scene, right? We're getting a lot of, I bet we're going to get modders back to remake some of the stuff they did for Oblivion, but what are they going to change? What are they going to upgrade now? Like that's where these games are just, that's why they live for 20 years.
Yeah, huge
So,
community.
yes. Two thoughts. First one, Sky Oblivion. You've been
Mhm.
following the development of this?
Yeah, so it's a updated, right? Like completely overhauled Oblivion by the
Skyrim.
community.
It's
Yeah.
all of Oblivion in the Skyrim engine,
Okay.
which is, and they've been working on this for 9 years, 8 years. It's been a long time, and it's all been done by um, people just volunteering their time. We're talking hundreds of people doing it. So Sky
Hundreds of
Oblivion,
hours.
oh, tens of thousands of hours, to be honest with
Thousands.
you.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a job.
they've remade it from the ground up. Every single cell, every single article, whenever they needed to bring in new content and scripting all of the same. missions and structures and everything. It's been incredible to watch their development. There's part of me that feels bummed that they almost feel like they're getting sniped by Bethesda by coming out with a remake of Oblivion, because this is the year they're planning to re-Sky Oblivion.
Mhm.
On the flip side, this is an entirely different engine. We're talking about it's going to play like Skyrim and be the world of Oblivion, and we're going to get a remake of Oblivion that presumably is going to stand on its own and be its own thing.
Mhm.
So it's a bummer for the Sky Oblivion people. It's going to remove some of the splash of what they've been working on for so long. But I do think there's a world where both of these get to exist.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to play both. I mean, put me down as an Elder Scrolls fanboy. I have a Elder Scrolls board game right there. It's really goddamn good. So I'm totally on board for having all my time eaten by that and the GTA 6. All right. Sounds like a good damn year to me.
Oh, yeah.
The other one.
Fruit.
Are they shadow dropping it tomorrow? Are we getting an announcement, or are we getting an announcement and by the way, you could purchase it right now? Where is your money on that?
My money is they are.
You think it? You think tomorrow?
I think so, and we've been wrong on our show before, so I'm not afraid to be wrong. But I think they are. And
I'm calling in sick right now, just in case. Atlas, plug your ears.
So going back to the leak that was probably a month or a month and a half ago, that was the guy's been spot on with a lot of the leaks. His timing was off on this, but
it feels like they did that on purpose. Right?
Yeah, I feel like they pulled it back a little bit.
They're like, F that guy the next day.
He was
he claimed
so
today.
spot on.
He claimed today.
Yeah. He was so spot on. And then crickets. Like they're like, okay, we're coming out with Indiana Jones on the PS5. That's our big announcement right now.
Right.
So they did that. Then they announced this. And one of his theories back then was that they will shadow drop the game. So I have, just basing it on all that stuff that happened, I'm gonna take that little he said into my truth, and I believe it's gonna happen.
I think it will too. And I think it'll be, if they do it, this will be huge. This will be a genius move, right? Like if you give people time to sort of bake on Oblivion, it's going to be 6 months from now. I don't think people are going to be as excited, but you shadow drop it at $50 tomorrow. I think people are going to be really hyped for it. That came out of nowhere. People have nostalgia for Oblivion, and those who didn't are interested in trying it.
Mm-hmm.
If they do it, it'll be huge. I think it's going to be a big seller.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think so. I think digital for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's going to be a physical tomorrow, but
they still sell physical copies of games.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like on purpose, or
yeah, people still collect those.
Nonsense.
Yeah. So we have that. Now into a fun little announcement. Marvel Rivals is doing a swimsuit edition.
I mean, you gotta say you love money.
Right. A lot of the criticism about Marvel Rivals was like the costumes aren't really, like, they were very Western, like not going where a lot of the Easter games are going. So it's more conservative, and now we're coming out with the swimsuit thing.
I'm sorry, conservative. Have you seen Sue Storm? Am I crazy here?
Yeah.
Those are not conservative outfits.
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl.
She's
a little thick, right?
Okay. Well, anyways, we're getting the swimsuit release, swimsuit editions. This is a throwback to 90s comics. They did. This is where you could get away with this stuff. Like,
yeah.
They're like,
doing it for historical accuracy.
Yeah, swimsuit edition, comics, X-Men, Marvel, whatever. It was big in the 90s. So
yeah,
now they're bringing it back. Yeah.
I feel like that meme where the guy's like slapping his card on the counter. He's like, buy it,
take my money. Yeah.
It's gonna print money, right? Like,
yeah,
Rivals is great in the sense that it's a fun actiony. It's where Overwatch was, 7-8 years ago.
Mhm.
That's where Marvel Rivals gets to fill that space. And come on, Swimsuit Edition.
Yeah.
They're just making money. They can do all the justification. There was some guy in a boardroom who's like, ah, and everyone went, yeah. I bet they have a projection chart that just goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah,
This may put this on the map
it's
if it's
silly.
not already there, you know?
It's silly. It's fun. I don't know. Is it? Is
Yeah.
it cheesing teenagers out of their money? Yeah, yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a good moral move, but
It's worked for
it's
Fortnite.
gonna make a boatload of money.
Oh yeah.
Dead or Alive
Yep.
Beach Volleyball got a version 2. All right, let's not pretend like this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't play Marvel Rivals, and that's not really like putting me there. It was,
No, it's not
Dead or
bringing
Alive
it. They don't.
volleyball with Marvel characters, though. Maybe. Maybe.
They don't need to pull. They're not trying to pull anyone in. They're trying to take their existing audience and
Yeah.
sell to them. That's what it's for.
Yep.
And I will say Rivals is a great game. I'm happy for its success. It
Yeah.
really, again, it's really because Overwatch 2 dropped the ball
Mhm.
and there was a space to fill, and there isn't a game that filled the hero shooter in the
Yeah.
same way that this game has. So
Yeah.
not shocked.
Cool. And then on to we'll talk video game movies for a second. Michael Bay is going to direct Sega's Outrun video game movie.
Good, good. I'm
What
glad
did we need that?
we need, look, this is like Need for Speed in the sense of this is so generic. No one knows the storyline. It's not like you're going to have nerds going out. Like actually in Outrun 2, they didn't do this, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just you're just slapping an IP onto whatever story you want. I don't think there's anything more going on here that's deeper than that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So is this just in response to Minecraft's wild success with, hey, Minecraft did a thing and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars with this movie, and we need a franchise. Well, what about Outrun? That's like where did they come up with that idea?
Mm-hmm. That's the
Outrun.
same people that made Battleship a movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean,
Outrun's going to be the next Barbie. Come on.
Is it banking on the success of modern video games? Maybe tangentially. I do think this is a slap a known IP on an existing product more than it is being inspired by or created for or even targeting a particular group. This is going to be fast cars and big explosions, what Michael Bay is really good at.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to do well. I don't think Outrun's pulling in anybody. There's going to be one dude at the front who's like, woo! And that's going to be it.
I'm like, when is this on Netflix? I'll possibly watch it one night when I'm drinking a lot. And,
But
okay.
the modern success of video games, I think, is fascinating, right? Like you talk about Minecraft, there was a lot of people pretty early on that was like, this is cringe. No one wants to watch it. We're tired of Jack Black being in everything. We're tired of Jason Momoa. This looks stupid. Those people were not who this audience was for. That audience was for people like me, that is a big gamer, that have little kids, right? People like you, that's a gamer that have little kids. Like that.
Did you go?
That's who we're bringing. Not yet. I will be going to the Minecraft.
We did go. And that's exactly right. It is, you bring your kids, they have the time of their life with this movie. They enjoyed the crap out of it. I, however, was not like, I wasn't impressed, but I also wasn't expecting anything.
Right. But it's not for you, right?
It wasn't. No.
Yeah. That's where a lot of these like very frustrated gamers, Mario had the same thing. People were like, oh, look at that casting. I don't want Chris Pratt and stuff. It's not for you. Like,
but it was
fantastic. Yeah, I enjoyed the Mario
movie. That was a great movie.
It doesn't, hold the deep lore, but it also was a pretty straightforward story. And like, I'm sure Minecraft's going to be the same thing. Chicken jockey is a meme.
Yeah.
It's not a good joke, but it's not for you. You're not 10.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yep.
know. I like seeing it. I like seeing the success of video games. I like that they're the ones that do well show a respect for the IP in some fashion, even if
Mhm.
it's not exactly the game that we or the movie we want it to be. But like
Mhm.
Mortal Kombat's done fairly well. Mario, of course, Minecraft, Sonic movies have been doing really well. Detective Pikachu.
Oh
Like there's
god,
some
that was
good shit
great.
happening.
Yeah.
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 And it's nice to see that
I gotta watch that again.
everything but Outrun or like Need for Speed, there's still IPs just getting slapped on shit. Like that
Yeah.
still happens.
Yeah.
But there are games being made in a way that are or game movies being made that understand the source material to some
Mhm.
degree.
Yeah. Stuff. Last big update I have is a trailer. I believe it was today or yesterday. Was Star Wars Zero Company? Have you seen
Mhm.
this?
Nah, I haven't got a chance to watch it, but I'm for it.
So yeah, EA came out with this announcement. It's new strategy game set for next year. It looks a lot like XCOM.
Mhm.
So it's, you're the players running around and taking cover and throwing grenades and stuff. It looks really cool. So excited for it. That's all I got. I haven't seen a lot of gameplay, but yeah, something different. When will we get Knights of the Old Republic, I don't know.
I
Come on, Star
this
Wars.
this gives me vibes of like the early 2000s when Star Wars was like in every genre, right? Like we were getting Star Wars
Mhm.
fighting games, we were getting Star Wars Racer, Pod Racer, we were getting
Yeah.
flight sims, we were getting Republic Commando as a tactical
Yeah.
combat game.
RTS.
Like Star Wars is such a rich universe that everyone sort of just instantly understands that I do like seeing smaller projects look at different ways to explore that. Like
Mhm.
I've loved the not the Force Unleashed, that's not the modern ones. The Jedi Survivor games, I've
Mm.
really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
They've been really great, but yeah, give me something that's a little kookier, a little more interesting, a little more different. And an
Yeah.
XCOM is such a great way to explore other parts of the world beyond just the Jedi.
Mhm. Yeah. So, yeah, excited to see more about that.
Mhm.
That's all I
Is
have for
volleyball
news.
Jedi
Is
Jedi
volleyball
Survivor?
Jedi? What?
I'm on to
Hmm.
something. I'm just saying
Something.
all the genres.
Everything. Yeah. Let's throw it in there. That's all I got for the news.
Mhm.
It was a lot. The next segment I wanted to do was talk about new releases. This is a try bypass in the way that you would do the Mary Screw Kill game, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. First one, and
Smash.
once again, we're going back like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So if you haven't played this or whatever, let me know what you're thinking.
Mhm.
South of Midnight.
I I'm probably gonna pass on South of Midnight. I'll probably watch someone play. This kind of a weird like I really appreciate what the world is. I really want to see how the characters develop. I think that is such an untapped potential of stories by going to sort of the Southern Bayou mythology, that sort of French fusion. Like I think that's all super interesting, exciting. Um, it's just I have a lot of games to play, and the combat to that game just does not sell it enough for me to want to invest the time. Yeah, now you were excited about the game. Where are you with that?
Yeah, I did a try with it. I did try it.
Mhm.
I don't believe like if it wasn't on Game Pass, I wouldn't buy it. It is decent. The first chapter is really just there's a lot going on. It's really good. The story is really good. The combat and some of the platforming is it needs work. So
Mhm.
it's not as polished with that kind of stuff, but the story, the music, the sounds, the art, everything about that is fantastic. So I believe if this is a bargain game, you 20 dollars, during a Steam Christmas or whatever sale, I believe this is a great pickup for something like that.
Yeah.
$60 game, it's hard for me to recommend it just because I feel like they poured so much into every aspect of the game except for the actual gameplay mechanics where you're jumping around and you're fighting and it needs work on that.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
totally see where I'm like in a game funk, game drought, and I'm just casting out for something new and interesting. I see that this game coming up for that. As far as like I'm gonna drop other games I'm playing to play it, or like where it's gonna land in my top next games, it's just not
Mhm.
there.
Awesome. Blueprints.
Woo, baby. That's already a buy for me. I actually already purchased it. I need to look at Game Pass and see what games are on there before I make these
It
decisions,
is on there. Yeah.
but I don't regret it. I think everybody has been talking about Blueprints that it will be the next game I'll be playing after I get through my current slate. It as a it's a roguelite puzzle game, and I did put maybe an hour just to get like an intro of it. I think it looks amazing. I'm very excited to give it a shot and try it out. So that one easy buy for me. Plus it's like $20.
Yeah. This is the next game I am gravitating
No,
towards. It's
nice.
also would be a buy, but it's on Game Pass and PlayStation has it on PS Plus too.
Mm.
So I'm double covered on this. Very excited about it. Everybody's talking about it. I believe we're gonna have to play through it and get a show or something about it because there's a lot going on there. There's a lot to talk about. It looks great. I hear people like getting books together, journal entries, and oh shit, I did this day.
Mhm.
Oh, and flipping back through it and everything. So it's really exciting, and that reminds me of like old Nintendo games, SNES games, where you're like, okay, where was I? How do I get back to this place I need to go to?
Mhm.
Couldn't Google the answers, so you were writing it down. I wrote everything down when I was a kid, or got the Game Informer, I think,
Right.
and tried to
Draw on maps and make your own
draw.
marks on them.
Yeah,
Yep,
Zelda One. I remember Zelda
yep,
One, like drawing maps and stuff.
yep.
So it reminds me of that, and yeah, I'm excited. It's a great game. Next was a game I tried last week.
Oh,
RuneScape
good, good.
Dragon Wilds.
Let's start with you. I wanna hear your opinion on this one.
RuneScape Dragon Wilds. So this game launched at $30, and I believe, so here's the thing is I'm so into survival crafting. Like
Mhm.
I like Valheim. Like Valheim is the goat for me about this genre.
Ooh, okay.
Sons of the Forest is another great game where
Mhm.
and that's where a little bit of story gets into a survival game. So those are two games that I hold up on pillars, and if it's not doing what those games do for me, then I kind of want to wait on it.
Oh,
And
this feels like a
yeah,
but sort of comment, yeah.
yeah. So paying $30 when you can get the goat for $20, it's a hard buy for me. And it's early access. They need to work on some things. They didn't have, like, you couldn't host a server or whatever that was just ongoing. You had to launch the game, invite your friends into the game, and play together on that same world, with one host. So there's some things that I think they're going to launch down the road with that they'll have those added in. There was some magic progression where you didn't get skill points for magic. That's all going to get added into the game. So there's a few things I know they're working on that's going to make this a good game. It, but what I will say, the little I did play of it, it was quest driven, which is not a Valheim thing, which is a good thing. Like it was a little bit different with that. So it was quest driven. To me, the animations were decent. The combat seemed decent. Um, the graphics, like they were very, I don't know, cute, cartoony, like reminded me of World of Warcraft or something. And I like it. I think they need to cook on it a little bit more,
Mhm.
but I think it's going to be good down the road. The pricing, when $20 for Valheim, like if you have not played Valheim, play this game. It is the greatest. And the one problem I'll say with Valheim is if you've never played Valheim, you don't know what to do. This game kind of answers that question. Like, here's a quest, go do this, go to
Mhm.
this town or whatever. So that is the one difference. If you need to know where to go, then something like this RuneScape game is perfect for you because it's gonna lead you to where you need to go. But I don't know. I hold those on such a high pedestal that I'm like, it has to meet this at
Mhm.
least for me to buy it. And Valheim, like, I would pay more money for that game. um, I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I wasn't I completely missed RuneScape. It never hit me. Like obviously I was aware of it. Everyone was as a browser based, but I never got into RuneScape, so I don't have that level of nostalgia. So
Mhm.
hearing another survival crafter came out and it just I mean, the comparison to Valheim is exactly what I saw when I saw a trailer. I was like, I don't have the nostalgia for RuneScape, and I'm not in any position where I'm like, God, I need another survival crafter to exist. There are
Mhm.
just so many. That genre is flooded in Steam and everywhere else. That yeah, it's going to be a pass until someone comes to me and is like, no, this game's amazing. Give it a shot. But everyone I've talked to has given me the thumbs up. It's good. And I'm
Mhm.
not looking for good in the survival crafting genre at this stage.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I
Yep.
mean, it's going to be a pass for now.
Yep. Yep.
We'll
Yep.
see. Games
Yeah.
constantly are somehow recovering. I brought up Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky. I'll bring up Final Fantasy 14. I keep finding these games where I'm like, they're garbage. I'm never going to play them. And then they're like, actually, they're good now. It's been 7
Yeah.
years. They're
I
amazing. So
I
who
think
knows?
there's
Maybe this one
potential
does
down
it.
the road for
Mhm.
sure. And if it's on a sale or something and it's half off, like that's another one where I'm gonna probably pick it up again just to see where they're at with it.
Yeah. Plus, I heard they're releasing a swimsuit edition. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited for that one.
I think you can do that. So
Yeah, perfect.
yeah,
I'm in. You know, I'm buying it right now.
you
I
know,
already own it.
or just, get Conan and they don't even have swimsuits. Like they're
Hey,
just
there we
running
go.
around. Yeah.
Conan's wonderful. Not for that reason, but it didn't hurt.
Yes. Ready. So there's that. Towerborn is getting a Game Pass release. This game was released on PC early access probably 6 to 8 months ago.
I don't
Are
even
you following anything about this?
I don't know anything about Towerborn.
It looks like kind of like a beat 'em up, but also RPG elements to it. Looks
Mm-hmm.
like Castle Crashers, but with better graphics, like more serious. So
Okay. Looks
yeah,
very arcadey. This feels
yeah,
like an Xbox Live Arcade game, actually.
arcade, yeah, button
Yeah.
masher kind of thing. Maybe some RPG elements to it. So yeah,
I have yet to find one of those that hooked me in a long, long time. I think maybe Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo.
yeah,
I don't know.
that's
These
fair.
games feel old school in a way, but Xbox Game Pass, that's totally a scenario where I'll try it.
Yeah, I think you get a couple friends together, and
Yeah.
I think it's 4 player or something
You got
again,
an
and
evening, you want to try it out.
try it out on Game Pass. No hurt,
Mhm.
So yeah,
I will say the art style looks fantastic. And
yeah.
one thing that these kind of games could struggle with is kind of seeing the character through the background and
Mhm.
the big, thick, dark ink that they're using around their characters and sort of using that 3D background with the 2D animated sprites really makes the game pop in a really nice way. So
Yeah,
I could totally see if they nail the mechanics of this game, it'll be huge. But
yeah.
God, that's a genre that's a hard sell, especially in 2025.
Yes, awesome. So later this week, Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
3 days. I think it's on Switch Day. So
Well, my money is already spent. I'm sorry.
it's on Game Pass.
I see that. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, and, I mean, when we were looking at that, I remember thinking this. I don't know how to feel about this. There's so many games, and like there was nothing wrong with what we saw when we were watching
Mhm.
that game, that PC trailer of it. But I still had nothing. I was like, oh yeah, I want to play this, right? Like it just
Yeah.
felt like 100 other Japan style RPG games I played.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass until
Yeah.
someone tells me it's
Let's
amazing.
see what reviews come out, and
Yeah,
yeah. So
I
I'll
don't
do that
know.
too. There's too much. I think Blueprints is calling me, so it's like,
I
I don't know
forgot
if
that
I'm.
game was coming out. That's how bad it is. Like I saw it, I was like, did I look at this? I had to go look it up, and I was like, oh yeah, which is not a great sign.
Yeah. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
Yes, baby. I do love me a great fighting game. Fatal Fury is not my most exciting genre.
Mhm.
Like it's not Street Fighter, it's not MVC, right? It's not Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna pass. I bet it's going to be technically amazing, and there's gonna be a hardcore scene around. It's gonna be good. I haven't even got to Street Fighter 6, so
Yeah. I'm
it's
in
hard for
that
me to
boat
be super
too.
excited.
It's like sometimes
Someone's gonna
they.
be excited about that game.
Yeah.
It's just not us.
Yeah. I do love the fighters. Like I said, I've been a huge Street Fighter fan since I remember playing this on the Super Nintendo or whatever, and then
Mhm.
back in the arcades and everything. Um, but I typically do not buy these at full price.
Yeah,
And the reason, like, I remember buying Street Fighter 4 on PS3 or whatever on full price. And then a year or two later, they came out with like the Turbo Edition or whatever.
right.
And
Ultra Street Fighter 4. Yep, yep.
I just bought
Or
this other one
Super
like a
Street
year
Fighter
ago
4.
or two
Yep.
years ago. Yeah. So typically I will wait for those to go on sale, but I love them. So, but I'm also not, I'm decent, but I'm also not like tournament good or anything. So I'm not, yeah, I'm not, there's those people that are going to get this on day one, and I'm not one of those.
King of Fighters always struck me as like the other game, like the alternative to Street Fighter. It always felt like you could play Street Fighter or you could play King of Fighters, and King of Fighters always managed to do some cool shit in
Hmm.
and pushing the technical gameplay of a 2D fighter, but it just I don't know. It because it occupied that same space, I felt like I chose Street Fighter and I just been rocking it. There are things
Hmm.
like Mark of the Wolf or Garu, right? Mark of the Wolves that I really loved and I got pretty heavy into. And King of Fighters 98, I got heavy into, but all the other ones I've just been like,
Yeah,
cool. It's
okay.
there. I'm
Yeah.
happy they're doing it. Keep it rocking, Short Kings, but that's about it.
There may be a swimsuit edition though.
I'm
So
back on.
yeah,
My in a
okay.
swimsuit. That's all I need to do.
It's probably going to happen.
Mhm.
So there's that. Days Gone remastered, also coming out later this week, I believe.
Mhm.
You have a PlayStation or no?
I didn't play the original Day Gone. I also just want to say remastered. Didn't that game come out like 4 years ago? Isn't it
Yeah, it
on the
was like,
exact same hardware? Like, what the fuck? Sorry,
yeah.
what the fudge?
Oh no. Yeah, I didn't play the first one. I guess I'll play the remastered. Like I don't know. That's where
What
I'm
is
at. It's
remastered in this day and age? What? It's
I don't
slightly
know.
sharper graphics. It's the
Yeah.
same resolution.
I believe it's like maybe for the PS5 Pro.
Nonsense. Give me a free edition.
Yeah,
Call it good.
crazy.
This is
And they
Forbidden
like,
Horizon all over again, right? It's like
yeah,
what the hell? And granted, I'm probably going to buy Tears of the Kingdom remastered on Switch too. So I'm being hypocritical here. I get
right.
that. But the PlayStation leap from 4 to 5 was not that big.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a PC gamer, certainly doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I
there's
have a
that.
rant. There's a rant there.
There is a rant, but it's a game that when it came out, I was busy and I
Yeah.
didn't play, and I kind of wanted to play it. So it is in my backlog. I'll try it out eventually. I don't know. Like, I know I could play it for free right now on PlayStation Plus. So
Mhm.
I don't see myself paying another $10 to play the remaster because I think, was it a PS4 game? I don't even know. It was so close, like at the end of it and right at the beginning of the PS5 where it came out, where it was like, which is this on? So same thing. It's hard to see a remastered for that.
Yeah. It also came out. I don't know. In my mind, they're linked. I don't know how close they were on Steam, but I had a point when I was like looking at Ghost of Tsushima and I was looking at Days Gone. And I was like, well, obviously I'm gonna pick Ghost of Tsushima. That looks way more interesting. So
Yeah, I think
I
those
don't
were the
know.
same. Yeah,
Yeah.
right
So
around the
it's
same time.
Sony makes these great single player, big world, big map games, but I only have time for so much of that to exist. And it was Spider-Man 2 that got my time, and it was Ghost of Tsushima, and Days Gone was like, I don't need another. And
Yeah.
this remaster doesn't do it for me either.
Yeah. Yeah. Last thing on my list of new releases and stuff is actually a 2.0. It's Lords of the Fallen 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen anything about that or?
Briefly. I will say I didn't play. This goes to this conversation, right? I only have so much time, and
Yes.
another Dark Souls game is not driving me forward. Liza P was an exception, not the
Right.
rule for me saying I need more Dark Souls in my life. I'm happy
Yes.
with Elden Ring. I have Dark Souls 3 to finish if I really want to go back and play something. So, but I am excited for game companies to continue improving on their formula. And if 2.0 comes out and someone tells me it's amazing, I'm in.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a better version of a Dark Souls knockoff is not doing it for me.
Yeah. I think one of the things, I think their 2.0 is a big jump for this game. It has co-op from the start to the end.
Good.
So that's something I might want to experience where I don't really get that in Elden Ring unless I mod Elden Ring or
And
whatever.
it's
But
wonderful in
yeah,
modded
yeah.
Elden
So
Ring.
it's a cool feeling to play a Souls like with a friend. I might try it just because it's on Game Pass as well. So once again, most of these things are on Game Pass. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Souls like.
One big piece of news. I know we're about to get out of this.
Oh, we're good.
I
Yeah.
did want to say we haven't talked about that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to have their final patch coming out.
Thought it came out last
It
week,
is
maybe.
out? Now I'm going to have to look.
With the dual classes and everything.
Let's see. Patch number 8. Is it out? Well, either way, patch 8 is either out or coming out, but it's the final patch for Baldur's Gate 3, which is huge. And I'm excited to see Larian Studios kind of move on to whatever their next project is. I think that's a company that has cemented themselves. Baldur's Gate 3 is like one of the best games of all time. I don't think that's controversial at this point. So I'm excited for them to move on, but getting that last hurrah of that game is super exciting. And I don't have time for it, but I'm going to find time. If Oblivion doesn't come out tomorrow, I'm gonna find time to load up another Baldur's Gate 3 game.
Yeah. Great game. I bought that, I think, week 1 or whatever. And like you said, I've heard a lot of people say it. This might be one of the greatest games ever made. And it's a crazy thing to say, but the popularity of this game, what it does, the co-op, playing with your friends or whatever. This is like playing Dungeons and Dragons
Characters, yeah,
in a basement with a bunch of people, but you're all online and it's all right in front of you, and you can watch it all play out. Great game. I also, like going back to the Oblivion statement, this is a game where you can play it and different things happen like every time you play it. So
I had a friend say that his best compliment for Baldur's Gate 3 is every time you play it, you're thinking about how your next game will run. Like, oh, I'm going to build this character next time. I'm going to do like you're always. That's why if you look at the stats, so many people never finish Baldur's Gate 3. They get to chapter 3 and they just restart. They build a brand new character. And that's not a knock against chapter 3. It's fine. It's good. But it's just that game has so much to it. And I don't want to gush about a game that's like 3 years old at this point, but I will say it's one of the few games while I was playing it, I was like, this is a game that people are going to talk about for a decade or more. This is like Chrono Trigger style of masterpiece. This is Dark Souls 1 masterpiece level. And it was interesting to see that just so quickly from it. Games like Mario Odyssey, as an example, where I loved it. I had to bake on Mario Odyssey. I had to be like, do I love it because it's new and I enjoy playing it? Or is this a masterpiece? Baldur's Gate never had that problem. I was like, yep, this is a masterpiece. This is one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
Oh yeah.
But it's done. It ran its course. Larian Studios deserves all the credit for putting love and heart and a vision into a masterpiece. And very few companies could truly say they made a masterpiece, and Larian Studios gets to do it. So
Absolutely.
awesome. Good for them.
Definitely. Great game. Cool. So on to the next part. We are talking the game of the week, or what we played last Friday, basically. And that was
Yeah.
5 hour game of Repo.
It felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That game is so great.
Yeah. So we played Repo. We played it a couple times on a Friday, and we might play this Friday as well. So we'll see.
Probably.
Probably. This game is so funny. It's unpredictable. It's wild. Like the things that happen to you, it is punishing. Like we're running through the basis of the game.
Yeah, perfect.
Is you have to go into these haunted mansions, collect all the loot, and extract the loot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get all your money, when you hit the limit you need to hit for these mansions, then you can leave the mansion. It never is as easy as that sounds. You're collecting loot, you're putting it in your wagon. A kid comes, like some haunted kid comes and runs up at the wagon and then starts throwing all your shit out of it. Like, what is going on?
This is really like the third in sort of a boom, boom, boom genre of Lethal Company, which I think really did a great job laying the groundwork for this formula. Like its graphics are kind of meh, it's hard to see, and you are entering into a dangerous area trying to get loot out before monsters kill you. It went from Lethal Company into Content Warning, which is wonderful and kind of has its own thing going with the YouTube documentary style, and then to Repo. This feels like such a natural progression to what those games are. Like, yeah, each time you're going in. To give an example, Lethal Company is wonderful, and I hope that they take some of the lessons Repo did, but there's always someone sitting at base reading out directions to the three people that are actually having the fun content inside. And it's a cool idea to add drama to the sense of like, you don't know when another player dies, and the person at the base, maybe they might get killed and you lose that. That's a cool mechanic. But Repo was like, hey, what if everybody's in there? What if it's all chaos all the time? Nonsense. Your other players are as much a problem to your success as monsters are. And I think that's wonderful.
It's so crazy. You said you don't know when somebody is alive or dead. This one of the things going for it, and I didn't play those other games, but you guys got me onto this one. And one of the things going for it is proximity chat. So we can hear each other when we're next to each other. When we do stupid shit like go into different rooms because we split up, which is probably the worst idea, we can't hear each other room to room because it's all proximity based. So we do that, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, have you heard from those guys in a while? I don't know. And they're dead, or or maybe they're still like randomly we see them again, but it's wild.
Yeah, there's so many great choices, but the real standout when it comes to Repo is the director. Whatever controls the AI of the monsters has such a wonderful sense of timing that it blows me away at how good it is. Like anytime that there is things are going too well for everybody is the time when the chaos monkey comes out, right? Like it's a little kid. You've got a cart full of items. There's a little baby that shows up. It is just chucking your items across the room and killing people. Or maybe it's been too quiet. No one's been talking for a while. And someone says like, hey, we haven't seen any monsters for a while. Instant shotgun to their face. Like it is such a chef's kiss of humor that I just cannot believe how incredibly well they did this. every game is just everybody's rolling on the ground laughing. It's incredible.
Yes. It feels like there is somebody watching us play this game and they are controlling the AI. Like
Mhm.
it does not like there's no way this is just naturally happening. And it
No.
does every time. Like every time it's there's a buildup and shit gets crazy and it's like they knew that we were comfortable. And the shit
Yeah.
happens. And I
They
think oh, go ahead.
they manage it in a way that it's like these kind of games could easily fall into frustration, right? Like it could be this scenario of like, I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm just trying to get my loot. But somehow they manage it where the monster is in the way in the worst time it could be. But the monster choice they pick is somehow the funniest monster they could have chosen for the moment, right? It's like we're all hiding in a room, everyone's trying to be quiet, and there's a monster that comes in, attaches to your mouth, and makes you vomit on your friends. And now you're screaming at your friend to stop vomiting on me, get out of here. And then they run out and they're vomiting on the treasure. And now all that's breaking. Like it's not just that the monsters show up at the right time, it's the right monsters at the right time. And it's I don't want to keep saying incredible. I have a better thesaurus than that, but I have no other better word. It's incredible what they've accomplished here. Repo is a masterpiece and in laughter.
Yes. And I think all three of those games that you mentioned, those are all like in the $10 range. Like
Yes.
this is a $10 game that you play with, up to 6 people, and it is a blast. This is what a party game needs to be. It pulls from like some of this like rubber banded stuff and stuff like that as far as like
Mhm.
moving around and like trying to carry something. And those have been party games for a while, but this is a different level. There is chaos and there is an AI that is directing something. And it feels like we're in a movie every time we're playing. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. They have the
Yeah.
proximity chat. You could see when players are talking. They get these big floppy heads. So it lets you not be too serious about the game. Like you're not going in this trying to speed run it or feel like you need to have the highest success possible. Like you're going back to the base, getting upgrades, but they're incremental or they're one-off gameplay, right? Like you're getting a sword to defend yourself, but that's going to be gone. So it really drives this idea home that you're having fun. You're just here to try to cause some chaos and like play within the rules, and you're still trying to accomplish goals. But if it doesn't happen, you don't feel like, oh my God, this sucks. We had a good run. I never felt that, even when we had good runs, because when we died, everyone was laughing. And that's a mark of a pretty incredible game.
I will say it hurt a little bit. I think we were on the eighth mansion
Mm-hmm.
and we all died except for one. I think it was Cap or something.
Right, right.
And he gets to the bus and everything just comes out and just destroys him. We're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yep.
that would have saved us. But yeah, it's still that moment, that happening made that game so much more fun. It was like we lost, but it was
Mhm.
hilarious how it happened.
Yeah, I will say I really truly cannot think of a game that made me laugh this hard since maybe early Jackbox. Like it just was constantly when you die, everybody's in like a shared lobby as ghosts. You get to watch the other players, and the game's comedic timing is something you get to share with friends in that moment too. So again,
Mhm.
it sucked. Cap was the last person alive. We had a huge run, but it was also this like you got to watch it back up into someone attacking him. Like we all got to see it coming before he did, and we're like, no. So it was wonderful to watch that. And yeah, me too,
Yeah.
Alice. That game's really wonderful. It's a great party game. And
Yeah.
the lead developer of Lethal Company, where this sort of kicked off this style of game, has said that he really appreciates what Repo's done. He's going to try and emulate it for the work that he's been doing. So we're going to see this like hopefully iteration of this coming back into that original OG game that's like probably 2 years old.
Yeah. And just to echo like what you just said, like I've never laughed so hard at a video game. It reminds me of watching like The Hangover for the first time, and it's like,
Yes, yes,
oh
that's
my
so
god,
good.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
I had tears. Like the first time we were playing, there was tears, and Cap was like losing his mind, like just like, oh my god, we can't finish this game. And it was just so funny. And uh we played it again 2 weeks later or whatever, and I get the same feeling. It's like
Mhm.
watching a movie like The Hangover at that level for the first time every time we play. It's crazy.
What's so to give a little into the world of the mechanic. So as you're moving items, you find these items in the world and they might have durability to them. So it's a very physics based. You pick up heavy items, it takes a little bit, but every time you ding it, you hit it against a wall or you hit it against a player, it might lose value or it might just flat out get destroyed. There are plenty of times someone's running full bore from a monster, another person's holding a glass item, they just shatter through like it's a Three Stooges comedy, and you
Mhm.
just see that dollar value of like $5,000 go off in
Yes.
smoke, and you're like, no, and it's hilarious. But we were all dead. The other mechanic before I go to the story is that if someone dies, you can pick up their head, and if you get enough money to meet the goal, you can respawn anyone's head that you've recovered. Watching Dawn and Cap get all our heads, their last two alive, four people dead. They've loaded them in there and they're $2,000 short. And they find an item worth 2,500 and watching them bang it against every wall, walking their way there, going like, oh, no, no. And they get there, they're $200 short. Comedy bliss. I will say it literally, it hurts. My body hurt from laughing because of how much the chaos was happening. And the
Yes.
game did that 3 more times to them before they gave up.
Yes. That was, yeah, and then we tried to die and we couldn't die. It was, that's how much the game hates
Yep,
you.
yep. It knew that you were trying to get out of this and said, "No more monsters. Good luck."
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just put the weak monsters out there and they're just gonna like tickle you. So
So,
yeah,
great.
that's it's funny. Awesome. Well, yeah, I look forward to that. We will probably play that again, hopefully this week, but if not, we'll play it again soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Any more hot takes or anything about the last week or anything else you want to jump into?
I mean, do you want just hot takes for this week or you just want a hot take? Because I
I
have been thinking about a hot take.
Let's do it.
All right.
What you got?
We could probably wrap it, but here's my hot take. I grew up in the era of Super Nintendo. I grew up with Chrono Trigger. I grew up with Super Mario RPG, Mario World, genre defining classics, right? I grew up through PlayStation, GameCube, PS2, Xbox. I could point at 100 games that I would tell any kid today that was born to play and be like, that's a game you should play. But here's my hot take. Video games have never been better than right now. The best games that are coming out that have ever existed are happening right now. I love Chrono Trigger. I think there are better RPGs out there. I think there are better platformers out there. I think there are better Mario Kart World's going to be the best Mario Kart. I bet you it's going to happen, right? Like we are at such an era of such good quality. We're seeing this at TV and we're seeing this, well, not in movies anymore, but in television where there's just so much good shit that I can't keep up with how much good shit there is. Like I have a
Yes.
back catalog of games that are 10 out of 10 and I know they're 10 out of 10 that I can't get to because I don't have enough time in my life. And I think that's something that I see a sort of pessimism around the video game ecosystem, and it shows up all the time where people like they're out of ideas, no one's being creative, everyone's remaking old stuff. Everything is fucking awesome right now, and if you can't find something to play, that's on you at this point. So
Yeah.
that's my hot take. Everything is there's a ton of really great shit. There's even free shit. Like if I was a kid and I could play Fortnite, oh buddy, that's all I would play is Fortnite. That's incredible for a free game.
Right.
So that's my hot take. People are too negative about how good shit is now.
Yeah. I would add to that and just say this doing this show or talking about games with you guys has been really like eye opening. And it's easy to get caught up in like what's coming out next month.
Mhm.
Why isn't it the best game? And it's so easy to get caught up in that. And it's crazy. Like the best game is probably a game you haven't played yet, or just go back and try something else. Like when you have time, don't worry about what's coming out next week or this week or whatever. Just go back and try something you didn't try 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
I
There
haven't played
is
Doom Eternal yet. Like, come on,
exactly
right?
Death Stranding. There's all these games
Mhm.
that we kind of skipped over because life is busy or we were busy playing other things. And those games are still good and they're worth a shot. So there's just so much out there right now that take some time. Don't get worried about what's coming out next week or a month from now, or Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out eventually. Like, just play what's out there. There's something
Mhm.
out there that you haven't played yet that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and there's no shortage of that, really. I bet everybody has a back catalog. No one's like, "I've played all the 10 out of 10 games." No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
Seriously, and get Game Pass and try
Mhm.
anything, with Mad Jack, Mullet Mad Jack. Great game. And
Or
the
even
only
thing
reason
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the only reason I tried that game was for doing the show or whatever. I was like,
Mhm.
let's look at the most off the rails thing they have on Game Pass, and that was one of them.
Shit is so good right now that even games that are like, if this came out 15 years ago, people have lost their mind over. We're skipping over because it's not the greatest. Like that was my whole thought with Avowed. I was like, if Avowed came out around Dragon Age, people would be talking about Avowed in the same language, like in the same breath. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, Avowed, Dragon Age, Fallout, New Vegas. That's all in that grouping of like amazing off, not Oblivion, Skyrim games."
Mhm.
But then it came out, and people are like, it's good." It's like
Yeah.
that's how shit is, and we're still getting stuff that comes out day one, no one's heard about. That's still amazing. Balatro has been the indie
Oh my
darling
god.
of the past year. And like that came out of nowhere. No one
My
expected Balatro to do well. Blue Prince is coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. My phone battery because of Balatro is not the same. Like that game,
Yeah.
and like I'll just sit there at the end of the night playing, and you can save your rounds or whatever. And that game is just straight addicting.
Yeah.
So good.
So constant new games coming out, constant classics being reborn. We're about to see Marathon come back. System Shock 2 is getting a remaster. I mean, the Lords of the Fallen 2.0. Day Gone is getting a remaster finally. Everyone's excited about that.
Yeah.
Like RuneScape had a resurgence. Like if you want classic, it's there. You want surprise indies, they're there. You want AAA exclusives, they're there. It's like every time I look around, I'm like, we're still in the golden age of video games, and people are just randomly pessimistic about that.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, awesome. That is all I have today. Want to thank our two awesome audience members,
Thanks,
and
mom and Don's mom.
yeah, I think Atlas might be hanging on. So
That's actually
appreciate.
my mother.
Oh, your mother? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mamacita.
She stole she stole the name. So yeah,
You're
huge
embarrassing
thanks.
me.
If you're watching this, thank you. There he goes. And we'll try to put this on Spotify. And if you listen to it, let us know. And thank you for that. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tyken, as always. And
Yeah, likewise the
yeah,
Don.
definitely have a great week. And we'll check out with you guys soon. Have a good night.